Hi everyone, Jim Cipriani from Systems Personnel here to improve your life. Today we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can maximize your team's performance in 2017. So we're well into the new year already. Most of us have been given goals and objectives that we're going to have to achieve in the first quarter, the first half, or the first year. So it's time for us to translate those goals into actionable items for our team in order for them to accomplish our goals and objectives to make us look good as leaders. So the question becomes, how do we go about doing that? And there are different ways to do it. The issue really is, what sort of goals and objectives are you setting for your team? So the first thing I want to look at is that the different sort of goals that are being set. Now, there are 3 major goal types. The first is a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. Many of you heard about this through Jim Collins and his book, Good to Great. And they talk about these big, inspiring, industry-changing, long-term goals that are really supposed to move an industry in a group of people toward a mission. And those are fine, but the best example I can give of that is Rex Ryan telling the Buffalo Bills media and fan base that we're going to make the playoffs this year. Well, that was kind of a big, hairy, audacious goal. The problem with that becomes when it becomes too far out or it looks like we're not going to achieve that goal, what do? It makes the leader look kind of bad. We knew that Rex Ryan wasn't going to hit the playoff goal a few games before that. And it starts to make the leader look bad, like a bragger. And also, what do you do then? Do you lower the goal or lessen the goal and reassess the goal and try and get people inspired once again? That becomes the problems with BHAGs. The outcome-based goals are most often financial goals. An example of that would be that I'm going to increase revenues by 25% this year. The most common type of goal. What the issue with this sort of goal is that it doesn't really define what has to happen in order for those outcomes to be achieved. So the people who are involved in those goals don't really know what to do on a day-to-day, minute-by-minute basis in order to achieve those goals. Therefore, the BBGs, the behavioral-based goals, are the type of goals that drive the behaviors, the things that lead to the outcomes. This is the key to the whole equation. The only thing I wanted you to take away from this video is to set behavioral-based goals. These are small, bite-sized, daily, weekly goals that when people do these behaviors and outcomes, they will lead to you achieving your success. The best example I can give is at Systems Personnel. Our recruiters are each charged with 1 time per day finding a potential candidate for a very important client. Only 1 time a day. A lot of people say, well, what do they do after lunch, right? But that's not the point. If 15 recruiters do this 1 time a day, they are getting us 3,600 opportunities to satisfy a client and improve that person's life. I think we will achieve our growth objectives should that behavior be done. That's kind of my point. To reinforce it, sports coaching really talks a lot about it. The winningest Duke basketball coach, Mike Krzyzewski, who wrote what I think is probably the best coaching leadership book, Leading with the Heart, talks about his setting goals. He would never set a goal of winning the national championship or winning 21 games. His goals were all around excellence. When you put on a Duke uniform, you're required to give your best each and every time. You guys each and every week are going to have to figure out a way to play better as a team. And we're going to work to have the very best defense that Duke has ever had. What are the behaviors we're going to do that? Well, maybe that's what Rex Ryan should have concentrated on. Rick Peterson, the world-famous Major League Baseball coach, he was featured in the Oakland A's in that movie Moneyball. He would tell his pitchers, don't worry about the number of games you've won or you're pitching your no-hitters. I want you to hit the glove. Just hit the glove. Each and every pitch, try to hit the glove. That small behavior will drive these bigger outcomes. So what the heck do we do with these once we've got these behavior-based goals? Well, you measure them. At Systems Personnel, each and every behavioral goal, daily or weekly, gets a measure. Green means everything's okay. Yellow means that you haven't done it. And we then ask, what are you going to do differently? You're going to have to do something differently in order to bring it back to green. It's their responsibility. If it stays yellow, it turns to red. And our culture is such that we then rally the team around them. They have to say, I need help. The team comes up with ideas on what they need to do to get their behavior going in the right direction. Then it's the individual's responsibility to do those things that the team came up with for them. Finally, the third thing and the last in our video here is you have to manage this behavior. Having an early detection system like a dashboard is fine. It's like diagnosing that a doctor's telling you have cancer. Well, you know what? It's the curing of that cancer that's important. So how do we manage that behavior in order that we can get those continued behaviors that will give us execution? Well, these yellows and reds give you opportunities to coach and to train and to correct and to hold accountable. So to summarize, folks, if you want the 3 things that will maximize your team's productivity in 2017, it's going to be setting behavioral-based goals, measuring them, and then managing those behaviors. Good luck, and hope you improve your life.